I know if you grew up watching Cartoon Network in the mid to late 2000s, you were treated to some of the best cartoons ever made. And with great cartoons, sometimes comes crossover. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. A crossover that I don't think too many people remember. Yes, this crossover is called The Grim Adventures of K&D. And by the name, I'm pretty sure you could tell it's a crossover between The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy and Codename Kids Next Door. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I even forgot about it. I was on TikTok one day and I saw a clip of it. I was like, I forgot that happened. That's crazy. So I decided to go finish watching the rest of the episode, and man, it was pretty good. The episode starts off with Billy's father telling him, hey, I gotta go run an errand, so I'm gonna leave you in charge of the house. Billy in turn gets excited, is like, yes, this is finally my chance. Can I wear them special pants that you always say the man of the house can wear? Billy's father then snaps on him. He was like, don't touch my pants. I wish you would touch my pants. It's gonna be wreck if I come back and my pants just touched. But within seconds of his dad leaving, Billy said, I ain't listening to none of that. He go and bother their pants anyway, and he started playing around with him. He jumping around, he jumping off of stuff, and then he like dives off his second floor balcony, and he lands on Grim's scythe. So this in turn messes up the pants, right? I think. So now Billy in full panic mode. He like, yo, it's over for me if he find out these pants is messed up like this, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So with that, Billy decides to try to call for help. And he's like, there's only one group that I could call to get help with this problem. This is actually a pretty funny part of the episode. Billy first calls Ed and Eddie. And you know Eddie is about his bread. So when Eddie pick up the phone, he's like, yo, we can fix all your problems for a quarter. Billy says, I don't got no quarter. So Eddie proceeds to tell the man, hey, I don't work for free. We don't do charity work. Call the kids next door. They work for free. So boom, next scene, right? It's a knock on the door. Who else but the kids next door? Fine, you come to save the day, right? Billy opened up the door. He like, y'all not the Powerpuff Girls. What's going on here? So number one basically is like, nah, but we here to help anyway. We can't stand when kids get in trouble. So hey, we here to help you. So Billy then proceeds to tell what happened, and number one is like, alright, cool, we got you. So next, number one puts on the disguise. He disguises himself as Billy, apparently, which to me isn't a convincing disguise at all, but you know, it's cartoon, so. So the rest of the kids next door, numbers 2 through 5, take Billy to this lab that they're supposed to be going to fix the problem. And literally, as soon as they walk out the door, Mandy knocks on the door, like literally like 5 seconds after they walk out. And we already know Mandy. Mandy ain't going for none of it. She's like, where is Billy? And number one keeps saying, yo, I'm Billy. What are you talking about? Like, I'm right here. Mandy then proceeds to start slapping this man in his face several times. Number one then decides like, hey, yo, this ain't what's about to go down. So he square up with Mandy. He in turn loses though. So Mandy basically ties him up and tortures him until he finally tells her who he is. So after number one told her who he was, Mandy got an idea. She started getting diabolical. She like, I bet you run a secret organization for kids. I bet. Watch this. And then as soon as Mandy leaves, Grim pulls up. But Grim falls for the disguise, I guess. He like, yo, Billy, where is my scythe at? So number one has the exact opposite interaction with Grim that he had with Mandy. He's like, I'm not Billy. Like, I don't know where your scythe at, bro. I'm not Billy. But Grim ain't hearing it. He like, yo, get my scythe or it's gonna be a problem. So number one, I guess, ends up convincing him he ain't Billy. I don't know how they got out of this scene. Like, they skip scenes. So boom, fast forward to number 2 through 5 and Billy, right? They're on the way to the lab, but they get like a little detour. They gotta go stop the delightful children from down the lane, which I never knew everybody was just in the same general area. So they go to stop the delightful children, and Billy ends up, they have like some type, I don't even know what the thing that they're working on is. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was not explained to me enough. But whatever the thing that they were working on, it ended up like fusing with Grim's scythe, and it turns the Delightful Children and Billy into this like giant monster. This monster then proceeds to go through the whole town, and it's like absorbing people like Majin Buu. Like they just walking up on people, it's screaming assimilate, and they getting like they souls basically getting sucked into whatever this monster is. Meanwhile, back on the moon base, number 2 got sucked up by the big monster Delightful Children thing, and number 5, 4, and 3 is basically telling number 364 what happened. Then Mandy pulls up, right? So after Mandy pulled up, she like, hey, I'm number 1. She got number 1 whole fit on, which I don't see how she knew he dressed like that. Like, what was the point of reference that made her know number 1 dressed like that? Because number 1 was dressed like Billy when they met. So how did she know that's how he dressed? But anyway, so boom. Now the disguise that Mandy has tricks everybody except number 5. Everybody is like, oh, number 1, you got a new hairstyle? That's crazy. You look good. You look good. Number 5, like, what are y'all talking about right now? That is not number 1. Mandy then proceeds to start basically overthrowing the whole Kids Next Door moon base. She's like, hey, I'm number 1 and number 5 over there tripping. I think we need to take her down to the med bay and get checked out. So they take number 5 to med bay, and she finds her way out of it and comes back and confronts Mandy like, yo, where's number 364 at? And Mandy like, yo, she was tripping like you was, so we had to send her to med bay too. So Mandy is on a full scale takeover right now. She starts saying, hey, we gonna call this the Mandy Next Door. Everybody got a little Mandy wig on. Like, Mandy is overthrowing the whole Kids Next Door single-handedly. So now Grim and number 1 are pulling up to the moon base, and Mandy took over. I don't see how she did this quick. I don't know what the timeline is here, but this is amazing. Like, the whole moon base is just a giant statue of Mandy, basically. So Grim and number 1 get in there, and they basically don't stand a chance. Grim don't got his scythe. Number 1 ain't got no type of, no type of joints to help him. So, hey, she get them taken away and put in like a jail cell. So now back to the Billy Delightful Children monster joint, right? I guess Mandy get like a feed from somewhere. She got like a camera watching them or something. I don't know how she see them from the moon, but she got like a video of them playing on the joint, right? So, hey, next thing you know, they just going through the town. This monster just assimilate. They taking soul after soul after soul. Like, they are Shang Tsung in his prime. Like, they are not playing. I would also like to mention that Mandy isn't even dressed as number 1 anymore. She has her regular outfit on. So there is no reason that anybody should think she's number 1, right? But anyway, back to the story. But Mandy sees this monster taking over the whole city, whole world, whatever the scale is at this point. And she's like, nah, I ain't gonna stand for this. We about to go to battle. She grabbed number 3 and number 4, and she like, hey, y'all come with me. We about to go take care of this. So meanwhile, number 5, number 1, and Grim are in a jail cell, right? And they basically try and come up with a plan of how to stop this big monster from taking over the whole city. Or country, town, world, whatever they're taking over, right? This next part is what I felt was the peak of the episode, right? So, boom. Billy, the Delightful Children, they're one entity, right? They assimilated the whole world, basically. They one giant monster. Boom. Grim, number 1 and number 5, they are like this giant bone monster now. Grim had this thing that made him a giant bone monster. I couldn't tell you, I ain't gonna lie. And Mandy pull up in a giant robot. So we get a triple threat giant monster battle, and I was here for it all the way. So halfway through the fight, I wasn't noticing this at the beginning, but y'all know the pants that Billy was getting in trouble for in the beginning of the episode that I was telling y'all about? Yeah, those were like a pivotal point in this fight, because throughout the whole fight, team number 1 is like throwing attacks and they're not working. Come to find out, it's because when Billy got assimilated, the pants became like a big part of the whole assimilated monster thing. And come to find out that the pants are immune to like lasers, supernatural attacks, and mustard. And I mentioned mustard because you know K&D stuff. But yeah, so team number one is starting to lose, right? And then Mandy pull up behind Team Billy, right? And they like, yo, Mandy, you gotta help. You the only one that could stop him now. And Mandy decide to get assimilated by the monster, so because she's a dominant personality and she wants to control the monster. So boom, she get assimilated, right? And now it just looked bleak for the world. It's like this fight is over at this point. Like I don't know what everybody could do. And then here he come, right? The star of the episode. Billy Dad pull up. He like, yo, take my pants off that monster right now. Everybody just looking. He said, I said, take my pants off that monster. Matter of fact, watch this. He jump on the monster. He put him in some type of wrestling move, rip the pants off, boom. And that opened up for a finishing blow. So, like a Dragon Ball Z move, they scream something out and finish the fight. So with Mandy and the monster defeated, everything pretty much ends happy, I guess. There was a pretty funny line at the end where number one was like, yo, Mandy got issues, bro. And Grim was like, yeah, try being in the same show with her every week. But all in all, this is a crossover between two of my favorite cartoons of all time. So I don't have a very unbiased opinion. I thought it was great. I was going to think it was great without even watching it. So if you've seen it, how do you feel about it? But I do thank you for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you know, tell a friend to tell a friend, like and subscribe. I'm new to YouTube, so any support would definitely help me a lot. But once again, thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys next time.